Hello producers, it's Ozgun here and welcome to the channel. So in this tutorial I like to show you how I use reference tracks to make better decisions in my mixing session, my low end and especially for my arrangements. And if you're ready, let's jump to that video. So guys, first you gotta drag drop the reference track to FL Studio. So not to get copyrighted, I just drag drop one of my unreleased tracks. So if this is an MP3, there will be a gap in the beginning. Just zoom in and get rid of the gap first. And then I think the tempo was 140. You don't need to pick a track with exact same tempo, even exact same key, I can say. But finding them same tempo, same key is gonna help you a lot. So in order to set up your reference track, you need to send it to a mixer track and make sure that mixer track is not routed to the master and it should have its own separate output. The reason we have a separate mixer track for the reference, when you start your production, the master channel of yours maybe have an EQ, maybe some compression, maybe some limiting, maybe you do some mastering stuff. And we don't want our reference track to pass through our master chain, If that happens, you are just going to manipulate your reference track, right? You don't want to do that. That's why we have a separate output for the reference track, which is going to be untouched by our own master chain. And in this chain, we can put a span, which is pretty crucial, especially when you are referencing your low end. And usually you can put a loudness meter in order to measure the loudness and such, dynamic range and that kind of stuff in the mastering process. And also I like to put LFO tool. You can put anything you like, just to see the waveforms of it. I always use LFO tool screens. I can check how the kick and bass looks. Maybe I can put an EQ and cut the high frequencies. So I can just check the kick and bass relationship. And vice versa. That's why I like to have an LFO tool, which is just for screen and EQ. To high cut, check the frequencies, a loudness meter, and good old friend span.
My eternal I am the shadow.
So I guess for the second tip of referencing, the reference track is mastered, right? That's why it's gonna be pretty loud. So let's check the RMS value.
I am the shadow.
It's like -6, -7 approximately. Even we can check it with you.
I am the shadow. I am the light.
Like short term, even -5 loops LUFS values. So probably it's best to keep it like at least 10 to 14 area LUFS value.
I am the shadow. I am the light.
So even maybe a little bit. This is not extremely crucial. If you know what to do, maybe you don't even need to do that. But always remember, if something is loud, it always sounds good to the ear, so we need to prevent that to be happen to, judge with unbiased.
I am the shadow. I am.
Okay, let's say approximately -12 LUFS value. I would probably stop there and start making my referencing. And after that, let's go to number 3, which is arrangement. So you can always steal the whole arrangement from a reference track. You can manipulate it later, but if you are unsure what to do, if you are unsure about arrangement, just go with it, guys. So this is how we do. Alt-T to create a marker. So this part is intro, right? Obviously, we have like intro. Let's see when the intro ends.
I am the shadow.
So I see here snares in here. So this intro was 16 bars. And after that, we have a build.
I am the shadow. Drifting through eternal flight.
And we have the drop in 25th bar. Oh, the drop ends in here. So let's write. In here we have the breakdown.
Endless flight.
So there's something different in the breakdown, right? So this part is really breaking it down, making it very slow with arps and the vocals. But in here something different happens. We call it like break climax part with all super subs and stuff. And we hear the snares again. There's a transition going on. So which is the second build up. And it goes like this. And then we are going to the second. And this part is the outro. So if you are having struggles detecting the parts, you're gonna get better. Just practice on this. Just listen it carefully and you'll understand it, no worries. And even you can take this arrangement stealing wand next level. For example, you see there's a pre-drop.
My eternal.
Also, you can mark this, pre-drop fill. And then you gotta put some drum fill in here.
My eternal flight.
And then, even you can just put it to next level. And you can write it like, here can the drop. You can put it like this. For example, in the first part, there's just kick and bass. But in the next part, we got the drums, hi-hats coming. You can also take notes to that, hi-hat came, melody came, pluck, there's a new melody, new synthesizer, or there's the call, there's the response. Just steal all of them. Steal whole the arrangement, whole the idea. That's okay. But when you're working on your track, don't go with the same melody, same style of sound. You can have reference track has a melody. You should have a melody, but it should be something different. It should be coming from your heart, After that point, if you stick to the reference track, it's gonna sound like a copy track. So that's why just examine and learn, study from it, but in the end, just make your own music. Okay, the fifth tip of referencing is the low end analysis of a reference track. So I just switched to this project. This is one of the tracks I finished in Start to Finish series in the channel. You can watch it. And if you become a YouTube member in the upper tiers, you can also ask this FLP. You can check the join button of my channel. So anyways, so as you see, there's my reference track, Space 92 Melodia. And again, as you see, I have my markers, build up, breakdown, drop, etc. Even I just put a low cut marker. So I know I need to make a low cut, make a transition to my outro just as my reference track. And again, this is just routing to a separate channel, which has a separate output. So guys, for the low end reference, we can put an EQ, a filter, it doesn't matter, just cut the highs like this. Let's cut it. Something like that. And I like to put an LFO tool just to sidechain it like this. Let's make it very, offbeat kind of sidechain curve. So we don't hear the kick, but we hear the bass. And then let's go to span. You can steal this preset. That's the preset. You can steal it, create your own. This preset is like focusing to low end, okay? And now we will only hear the bass of the reference track. By the way, this reference track is not volume matched. Just in the previous tip, I show you how to lower the LUFS value, how to make it silent. But as I said, you can do your referencing without lowering its volume as well if you know what to do. So yeah, I didn't even touch the volume fader of this one. So let's see where the bass lands. So that's nice. We can see that, for example, we can see that this track is in A sharp, the key of A sharp, probably in Phrygian. Space 92 is using Phrygian mode. The second octave, I usually check if there's enough frequency in the second octave which gives warmth. And there's not much second octave. It's not absent, but in my personal tracks, I would have this area, a lot of this one. But instead, he just have the fifth of the root key. So you see so you are seeing it, right? We are making a perfect analysis. So then we can create the pretty much exact same type of bass just with this information. But now I like to focus on the sub and the kick relationships. So when I mouse over it, I can see that the sub of the Space 92 reference track is hitting -1 dB. And the kick of it, if I put LFO to reverse, then it should only play me the kick part. And the kick is hitting -4.5. So there is like approximately 3 dB difference in the kick and bass. So let's try to recreate the same stuff. So let's get the bass of my track. I'm gonna open span. My bass is hitting minus 5.5, and I have more of the second octave than Space 92 and less fifth. You know, maybe I can fix it. But I can put an EQ and I can just boost to F note, F3 note, just like in the reference track. Am I similar? Let's check. The good thing with having a separate reference channel, so you can put two spans next to each other. So let me turn off the output of reference so we don't hear it, but we can see. Yeah, we got the F note just like the Space 92. Again, he don't have much of the second octave as I did, but I'm happy with it. So if your track is already sound good, don't try to be exact same with the reference. That's what I was talking about, not to copy everything, but just try to calibrate yours to the reference one. So okay, his kick was like 3 dB less, right? So my bass is hitting minus 5.5. His bass was minus 1, right? I don't need to turn the volume up for my bass. I can just keep the same relationship. His kick was 3 dB less. So let me do that for my kick as well. Minus 5.5, so my kick should be minus 2, approximately something like that. So 2.2. And currently my kick is like minus 3. I think that's okay. Again, I don't want to be exact same. Let me lower the volume of my kick, maybe half dB. And let me put the same EQ that I have for the reference track. So I can just compare my low end with his low end. Okay, that's the reference. And this is mine. I think that's pretty close. So hey guys, this is how I calibrate my low end to a reference. Also, this mix is clipping as hell. I like to just lower the volume. Or maybe I can just put a limiter just to show you. And also the tip number 6 is to check overall colors, for the spectrum. And for doing this, I don't want to play the reference track, not to get copyright issues, but I can show how it's done. So let me just turn the reference off, but let's check it with span. So I like to check the second drop of my reference track, okay, in span with the default mode. Let's turn it off. It looks like this. You should listen it, obviously. And let's go to like highest part of it. And that's how this is looking like. So the low end is the most powerful thing in the track. The high end is a little bit underpowered compared to the low end. If you just check it like this, if you put a line, the high end is a little bit silent than low end. Okay, just keep this as note. And it has tons of mid frequencies, blah, blah, blah. So just check how our track sounds like and looks like. So in our case, if we compare them like this, we have too much high frequencies and maybe we should boost a little bit of mid frequencies. So we can fix this in master, but it's easy to just lower the hi-hats, for example. For my lead sound, let's turn on a little bit mid. So I can say that we are pretty close, right? We have approximately same color. We are a little bit more bright. We can fix that when we are mixing the track in more detail, but overall this is pretty close to the reference. So again, guys, don't try to be exact same with the reference. Just get the trends of it. Just get the vibe of it. Just analyze it, but don't try to apply it 100% to your case, because every track is different. Every track has its own characteristics. And one more thing, if I get copyright issues, I'm gonna mute this part, unfortunately. But this is what you can do, you know, just go to the same parts of the reference track and yours after you put your mastering, you know. Before mastering, it maybe not gonna make sense, but after you make the mastering, just be fastly A/B, you know, like that. And do it like 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, I don't know. I'm gonna do it so fast, not to get detected by YouTube copyright algorithm. So you gotta do it a little bit longer than I do. So just listen to the reference one first. So we will do A/B very fast, and we will see if our track has similar, you know, energy, you know, fullness than the reference. So I a little bit messed up with muting and unmuting, but I think you got my point there. So then after this A/B comparison, if your track is pretty close to the reference or maybe even better than the reference, so you are good to go. So yeah, guys, this is how I use referencing. Please let me know in the comment section if you have something to add to this topic. So today that was it, guys. See you on the next video. Peace. Bye bye.